Thanks for joining us at the virtual Kollel. I'm Aaron, and we are studying Parashat Chukkat today. And that's going to be from the book of Numbers, starting with chapter 19, right in the beginning. So let's get to it. I'll share my screen. Okay, so we're in Bamidbar. Yod Tet is 19. So Perek Yod Tet, Pasuk Aleph, verse 1. And here's how it goes. Vaidaber Adonai El Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor. Now this is very similar to a lot of the opening verses that we have. There's just one difference. So of course, Vaidaber, he spoke. Adonai, the Lord. So Hashem spoke. El Moshe, to Moses. And then we have this phrase interjected. Ve'el Aharon. So and to Aaron. Lemor, saying. Okay, Pasuk Beit. This is where it gets into the good stuff. Zot Chukat HaTorah Asher Tziva Adonai Lemor. Daber El Bnei Yisrael V'yikhu Elecha Farah Aduma Tmima Asher Ein Ba Mum Asher Lo Ala Aleha Ol. Okay, so let's try to break this down and understand it. Zot is a demonstrative pronoun, as they say. It means it refers to this. And it's feminine. So the masculine form would be ze, but this is zot. This is pointing to something feminine. Chukat is, so the root is chuk, but then it's in a construct form, so it's going to be paired up with another noun. And a chuk is a type of commandment. It's a decree that doesn't rely on a rational basis. And so there's a lot of commentary on this particular parsha that explains the commandment this here as one of the, or as maybe the primary supra-rational commandment, or the decree that does not rely on a rational basis. So it's just a decree of God. So chukat is a decree of. So the at the end tells you that it's in that construct state. So what is it in construct with? Ha-Torah. So the Torah, the law, the instruction. Torah, right here is the word. This is and then ha means the. So chukat the Torah would be the chuk of the Torah, the decree of the Torah. So because chuk is feminine, chukat is feminine, zot is referring to that. So this is the decree of the Torah. Is, as always, is implied in Hebrew. It is not, there's not a good word for is. Okay, so now we've got asher, that's the relative pronoun, so that we usually translate as something like which, or that, or who, depends on what we're talking about, but it's describing whatever came first. So in this case, it's Chukat Torah. So we're going to describe Chukat Torah with a clause of some kind. So, and that's this clause right here. So the word tziva is related to the word mitzvah. It means he commanded. Tziva, he commanded. So, and here's the name of God. So Hashem, or God, commanded. And the word, don't be fooled by the word order. It's not he commanded Hashem, it's Hashem commanded. So Hashem commanded is going to describe Chukat Torah. That's how the asher works. You use the phrase that comes after describes what comes before. So this is the chuk, or the chuk of the Torah that Hashem commanded, lemor, saying, and this just opens a quote. So it's just like this. Frequently, we'll find that this word is just beginning a quote. It doesn't really have to always be translated. It can be translated with a quotation mark, for that matter. But this is what God said. Then it usually introduces a verbatim quotation. So daber is the command form of this word up here, like vaydaber or midaber, lidaber. This is speak. It's the command, speak. El is two. We've gotten this just before here. El is two. B'nai Yisrael, we've run into that a few times. Of course, this is the children of Israel, and this is a construct, plural construct word. So sons or children of Israel. V'yikhu, this is similar to the word we had in last week's Parashah. The root of this is hard to see. There's actually a lamed that goes in before the kuf as a part of the root. The root is lakach, but that tends to drop off in this particular word. So this form right here, yikhu, the yod tells you that it's third person. The vav tells you that it's plural, and it's going to be like a future tense, similar to a future tense imperfect. Okay, so it's they will take. They will take. Lakach is he took. V'yikhu. Now you might be wondering, well, it has a vav. Is that switching it around? Is it and they took? Because you'd think that was the case. And in this case, no. And one reason that we know that is because of the vowel under the vav. It is a shva, which is a normal and kind of vowel, just like this one right here. The just means and. Whereas when you have that conversive vav that changes, that flips around the tense, it's going to be like this. It's going to be vai. So in this case, it is not. It is really in the imperfect tense, meaning that it's something that hasn't been done yet, and we usually will translate that into future. And in this case, since we're describing Hashem's wish, it's going to be something like they shall or they are to do something. Okay, and it's in this case, it's they are to take or they shall take. Elecha, so this is the same as this, el, but then it's got a pronoun suffix. A lot of Hebrew words have pronoun suffixes, and this one is cha. Technically, it's echa, and that means you. Cha on the end of a word is very common. It means you, singular, masculine. So el is two, and then plus the echa is you, to you. So v'yikhu elecha, they shall take to you. Okay, you heard me stumble over this word. I said para because that's normally what would happen here. Para means a cow, and you'll see that this one says farah. And the reason that it's farah, not para, is because it's sort of like in English, we sometimes throw it, we'll say a boy, but we'll say an animal with a N because of the vowels. And that's just a similar thing that happens in Hebrew. This previous word ended with a vowel sound, elecha, and then it runs very rapidly into the next word. So there's not like a pause or anything like that. And so what happens is the dagish lene that's in this in the following word will often drop out. So it means the same thing. It doesn't change the meaning. Normally by itself the word would be para, but because it's in this phrase elecha farah, it just sort of drops out and it softens that sound. But at any rate, it still means a cow. Okay, so this is a cow, and they shall take to you a cow. And then this next word, aduma. So the masculine, this is a feminine word. It's the color red. The masculine form would be Adom. Adom. And you remember that's the same as the name of Esau is Edom. It's related to that because he wanted to eat the red lentil stew. And you may also notice this word is very similar to the word Adama, which means the ground. And so ground has a reddish sort of implication. And it's also related to the word Adam, man, because Adam was taken from the ground, the Adama. Okay, so anyway, this is the feminine form because cow is also feminine. So that we're implying that you should actually bring a female animal, a female cow, right? And then it has to be red. So Farah aduma, red cow. And you notice in Hebrew, the adjective comes after the noun, right? So it's reverse of what we find in English. Okay, so that's a great noun adjective phrase. And now we've got another adjective here. This is tamima. Tamima means something, means like complete, whole, can mean wholehearted. It has a sense of things, not lacking anything or not having any defect. Okay, so unblemished would be another way to say it. So in the masculine form, it would be tamim. So we're just doubling up the adjectives on para. So para or farah, aduma, tamima. So a red and unblemished or complete cow. Okay, or here's another way to look at it, and I think the commentaries probably get into this. Is tamima describing aduma? So are we saying that the cow has to be unblemished or that it needs to be completely red? I think that's probably the favored interpretation, especially because of what follows. Okay, we've got this word asher again, the relative pronoun. It's going to be which or that. It's and whatever comes after is going to describe what comes before. Okay, so we're talking about the previous noun is the para. So how are we going to describe the para? Ein ba mum. Okay, ein means there is not. There is not. Ba means on it. So it's got b, which usually just means in, at, on, with, that kind of thing. And then it's got the suffix ah, which means her. And of course, it's feminine because we're talking about the cow. So ein ba, she does not have on her. And then the word mum, and mum simply means a bad spot, a blemish. Okay, so ein ba mum means it has no blemish on it. Okay, so asher ein ba mum, which has no blemish, or which it has. So this okay. We just said that tamima means unblemished, and now we're saying we're going to say which has no blemish, and that would be redundant if tamima is describing the animal, but if tamima is describing the cow or the redness of the animal, that's different. So not only does it have to be completely red, but it also can't have a blemish. Okay, asher, we're going to throw in another relative pronoun, and this one is also going all the way back, reaching all the way back to para. We're not going to be, you might think, or as we're reading it, we have to go get this from the context. We might think that we're going to be describing the mum, because that's also a possibility. Like, it has no mum, it has no blemish, that whatever, but it's not going to make any sense if we do that. So asher here is going to say, we're going to describe the cow some more. Lo Allah, so lo is no, or in this case, not. It's negating what comes after it. And so Allah is, it has gone up. It went up, right? Or he went up. So a word that simply means to ascend. And it's in that past tense masculine form. Okay, so obviously this is not describing the cow, because the cow would be feminine. It would be alta if it was the about the cow. So something else has not gone up at this point. Okay, so lo Allah. Okay, aleha. So this is actually related, but this one's a preposition. Al means on, So ala means goes up, and al means on, and then the eha is a suffix similar to ah. It means her. Okay, so in this case, the her, the feminine her again, is the cow. Okay, so aleha means on her. Okay, so lo Allah or lo Allah aleha, it has not gone up on her. And now we have the last word, ol. So ol is a yoke, like used for connecting animals to a plow or wagon. All right, so ol is masculine, and that's going to be the subject of this verb Allah. So the yoke has not gone up on her. Okay, so to make this flow more nicely, we'd say that. I don't know how would we say this more neatly in English. So we would say something like on which no yoke has been laid, or something like that. Usually we wouldn't say in English a yoke goes up on something, but we would say it has been put on something. It's almost more like we imagine it going down, but in Hebrew it's you put it up. And that, you know what, that might be, and this is kind of the fun thing about Hebrew, you'll notice this repetition of this root, al, and ol. So I'm not sure, I'm not positive, but it seems like this word yoke is related to the word for up. And that might be why the word ascend is the noun that goes with it. So it just feels natural. Hebrew favors repetition. So Allah aleha ol is just sounds good in Hebrew. It's pleasant that you have that matching of everything. Kind of the opposite of English, where we like things to be different. So now we have a whole verse here. Zot Chukkat Torah. This is the decree of the Torah. Asher tziva Hashem, which God commanded, lemor, saying, Daber el bnei Israel, speak to the children of Israel, Vikhu elecha fara aduma tmima, and they shall take to you a completely red cow, asher ein bahmum, which has no blemish on it, asher lo ala aleha ol, on which no yoke has been placed. And I think with that we will conclude our study. Any questions?
Good job.
No? All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Darren, and for all those who are watching on the website at bethemmanuel.org/Kollel. And we'll continue pushing on. And so enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.